all 3 men vanished. Year is 1900. Queen Victoria still reigns over a vast empire. Gas lamps illuminate cobbled streets, and the North Atlantic roils with unpredictable fury. Amidst this tempestuous realm, 7 small, uninhabited islands pierce the waves, 60 miles west of Scotland, the Flannan Isles, or the 7 Hunters. For centuries, sailors had feared these desolate rocks, their ships dashed to pieces on unseen reefs in blinding storms to guide mariners away from these treacherous shores. The Flannan Isles Lighthouse was erected, a beacon of hope against the unforgiving sea. But on the 26th of December, that hope flickered and died, replaced by a mystery that continues to haunt the maritime annals. The lighthouse, normally a reassuring presence, stood silent, its lamp extinguished. A routine supply vessel, the Hesperus Asterisk, approached the island expecting a warm welcome. Instead, they found an unnerving emptiness, a scene that defied logic and sparked a legend. The Hesperus Asterisk attempted to signal the lighthouse, but received no response. Captain James Harvey, sensing something amiss, dispatched a crewman, Joseph Moore, ashore to investigate. Moore, a seasoned seaman, was immediately struck by an unsettling stillness. The normally bustling landing stage was deserted. As he ascended the steep path to the lighthouse, a growing sense of dread washed over him. The main door, usually locked, was open. Inside, the scene was equally strange. The kitchen table held a half-eaten meal, seemingly abandoned mid-bite. A chair was overturned. Most alarmingly, the clock had stopped, but the lamp itself was in perfect working order, ready to be lit. It was as if time itself had ceased to exist on this remote outpost. Something deeply unnatural had occurred on Eilean Moor, the largest of the Flannan Isles, and its secrets were guarded by the relentless waves. News of the inexplicable disappearance reached the mainland, igniting a wave of speculation and fear. The 3 keepers, Thomas Marshall, James Duckett, and Donald MacArthur, were experienced men dedicated to their duty. Marshall, the assistant keeper, was known for his reliability and meticulous nature. Duckett, the principal keeper, was a seasoned veteran, respected for his calm demeanor and unwavering competence. MacArthur, a temporary assistant keeper, was brought in at the last minute, a man known for his strong constitution, but also a troubled past, prone to volatile outbursts, a detail that would later fuel darker theories. An official investigation was launched, led by Robert Muirhead, the superintendent of the Northern Lighthouse Board. Muirhead, a man of meticulous detail and unwavering logic, found himself confronted by a puzzle that defied explanation. Muirhead's initial examination of the lighthouse revealed more unsettling details. The west gate, which led to the landing stage, was badly damaged, showing signs of recent storm damage. More perplexing, a lifebuoy was missing from its usual position. It seemed as though a sudden, violent storm had struck the island. But why would experienced keepers venture out in such conditions, leaving their posts unattended? The lighthouse logbook offered a partial glimpse into the keeper's final days. Entries written by Marshall spoke of unusually strong winds and a growing sense of unease. One entry, dated December 12th, read, "Severe winds the likes of which I have never seen before. Duckett is very quiet. MacArthur is crying." This was a disturbing detail, considering MacArthur's reputation as a hardened individual, the investigation struggled to reconcile the logbook entries with the weather reports from the mainland. While there had been storms in the area, they were not of the magnitude described by Marshall. The mystery deepened when investigators discovered that 2 sets of oilskins waterproof coats and trousers were missing. This suggested that 2 of the keepers had gone outside, while 1 remained behind. But why would 2 men leave the safety of the lighthouse during a storm, especially leaving a 3rd man, possibly the unstable MacArthur, alone? The half-eaten meal on the table implied a sudden departure, an urgent need to respond to an unforeseen event. The unanswered questions hung heavy in the air, fueling speculation and breeding conspiracy theories. A breakthrough came with the discovery of a crumpled message found tucked inside MacArthur's bunk. It was a hastily written note, seemingly intended for Duckett, the principal keeper. The note detailed a heated argument between MacArthur and Marshall, accusing Marshall of dereliction of duty and suggesting a possible romantic entanglement between Marshall and Duckett's wife on the mainland. The note ended with a chilling sentence: "I will not be silenced. The truth will be known." This revelation cast a dark shadow over the seemingly simple disappearance, hinting at a possible motive for foul play. But the volatile MacArthur have snapped, leading to a violent confrontation with his fellow keepers. The investigation shifted its focus to the personal lives of the keepers, searching for further clues to explain the events on Eilean Moor. Duckett's wife, Margaret, was questioned extensively. She vehemently denied any romantic involvement with Marshall and insisted that her husband had always spoken highly of both men. However, subtle inconsistencies in her testimony raised suspicion. It was revealed that Duckett had taken out a life insurance policy shortly before his posting to the Flannan Isles, with a substantial payout to his wife in the event of his death. Was Duckett planning something, or was Margaret hiding something to protect her own interests? The truth remained elusive, obscured by a web of secrets and lies. As the investigation delved deeper, a local fisherman came forward with a startling claim. He swore that he had seen a small boat leaving Eilean Moor on the night of December 15th, the night before the last logbook entry. The boat was described as being similar to the one used by the keepers for fishing. He claimed that he had seen 3 figures on board, but he couldn't identify them due to the darkness and the distance. This testimony added another layer of complexity to the mystery. If the fisherman's story was true, it suggested that the keepers had deliberately left the island, possibly to meet someone or to carry out a clandestine activity. But where would they go in such a small boat in the middle of a raging storm? The focus shifted once again, this time towards a possible smuggling operation. Rumors had long circulated that the Flannan Isles were used as a drop-off point for illegal goods, particularly alcohol and tobacco. But the keepers have been involved in such activities, and had something gone wrong? Perhaps they had been betrayed by their partners, leading to a violent confrontation and their eventual disappearance. This theory gained traction when investigators discovered discrepancies in the lighthouse's supply records, suggesting that goods were being diverted. However, concrete evidence to support this claim remained elusive. The truth, like the missing keepers, seemed to have vanished without a trace. Adding to the mystery, a former crew member of the Hesperus revealed a disturbing incident that had occurred during a previous supply run to the Flannan Isles, he claimed that MacArthur had exhibited increasingly erratic behavior, suffering from vivid nightmares, and claiming to hear voices coming from the sea. He had become convinced that the island was haunted by ancient spirits, and he feared that they were trying to lure him into the ocean. This testimony raised the possibility that MacArthur had suffered a mental breakdown, potentially leading to a tragic accident, or even a deliberate act of violence. Could MacArthur's paranoia have driven him to harm his fellow keepers before succumbing to the elements himself? The investigation reached a dead end. Despite exhaustive searches and numerous theories, the fate of the 3 lighthouse keepers remained a complete enigma. The official report concluded that the men had been swept away by a rogue wave while attempting to secure equipment during a storm. However, this explanation failed to satisfy many, particularly the families of the missing men, who refused to believe that experienced seamen would have acted so carelessly. The case was closed, but the mystery lingered, fueling countless speculations and adding to the island's already grim reputation. The Flannan Isles Lighthouse became a symbol of unexplained disappearance, a testament to the power of the sea and the enduring mysteries of the human condition. In the years that followed, numerous theories emerged to explain the disappearance. Some whispered of sea monsters, giant squids that had dragged the keepers into the depths. Others spoke of ghostly apparitions, the spirits of drowned sailors seeking revenge. More rational explanations included rogue waves, accidental falls, and even a deliberate murder-suicide pact. But none of these theories fully accounted for all the known facts: the overturned chair, the half-eaten meal, the missing oilskins. These details suggested a more complex and unsettling scenario. The Flannan Isles Lighthouse became a magnet for paranormal investigators, drawn to the island's eerie atmosphere and its unsolved mystery. A century later, a team of researchers revisited the Flannan Isles, equipped with modern technology and a fresh perspective. They re-examined the original evidence, interviewed descendants of the families involved, and conducted new surveys of the island. Their findings shed new light on the case, revealing previously overlooked details and challenging long-held assumptions. They discovered evidence of a hidden cove on the western side of the island, a location that was not visible from the lighthouse or the landing stage. This cove could have been used for clandestine activities, such as smuggling. Without the knowledge of the authorities, the researchers also uncovered a previously unexamined diary entry from a local fisherman, detailing a sighting of a foreign vessel near the Flannan Isles on the night of the disappearance. The vessel was described as being of German origin, possibly a U-boat engaged in espionage activities during the early stages of the First World War. This revelation sparked a new theory. Could the keepers have stumbled upon a secret German operation, and had they been silenced to protect national security? This theory, while controversial, offered a plausible explanation for the disappearance, suggesting that the truth had been deliberately suppressed by the British government. The final piece of the puzzle came from an unexpected source: a collection of old photographs discovered in the archives of the Northern Lighthouse Board. One photograph, taken shortly before the disappearance, showed the 3 keepers standing outside the lighthouse. MacArthur was not among them. Instead, a 4th man was present, a man whose identity remained unknown. The researchers were able to enhance the photograph, revealing a faint tattoo